What is going on, you guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video, and we are in the month of June, and that only means two things. One, the NBA Finals are this month, and two, the NBA Draft is this month. So for today, I want to talk about Bronny James. Is LeBron James Jr. ready for the NBA? That is a hot topic to discuss right now because it's June. We are 3 weeks away from the draft. Before the season, before Bronny had his cardiac issues, Bronny was in around the top 10. He was in the lottery range for this year's draft class, a very so-called weak draft class. It's very top-heavy, but people don't even know if that top-heaviness will even turn into be star talent, that being Alexander Sarr, that being Nikola Topic, that being Donovan Clingan, and there's more. People don't really know what to expect with this draft class. But then there's Bronny James, LeBron James's son. Is he NBA ready? Coming off cardiac arrest. Played 25 games last year for the USC Trojans. Missed about the first quarter of the season, a little less. He came in, didn't play amazing, but he had his moments. He is foregoing his eligibility, and he is staying in this year's NBA draft. So is Bronny ready? That's what I want to talk about in today's video. Is LeBron James Jr. ready? Because on all mock drafts, he's in the late second round. And per his agent and his father's agent, Rich Paul, he is not going to take a two-way contract. He's not taking a two-way. So a late second round pick, no matter who it is, they would take a two-way contract. But Bronny James is not. He wants a full contract, a full NBA roster spot. So let's jump right into things. Is Bronny NBA ready? It's really that simple. And I'm going to give you a little short and sweet answer, and then I'll explain into it. And it's maybe. Because if you watch the highlights of Bronny James, he has all the characteristics you want in an NBA pro. He is a well-rounded player. He did not play amazing last year. I mean, I'll just put the stats out there. He averaged 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on less than 40% shooting from the field in his 25 games with the USC Trojans. Not great. That's not even a late second round pick worthy. I don't even know if that's a third pick worthy if there was still a third round in the NBA draft. That's going back a long time ago. I don't even know if he would be ready for that if you look at his stats. But the intangibles, his chase down blocks, his on-ball defense, his shooting, or just the way he creates his own shots. Yes, he didn't shoot the ball great last year, but the way he can create his own shot, also shoot off the dribble, and also shoot off the pass. Because he wasn't really running point guard. He was really running that 2, a little bit of that 3, because Isaiah Collier was, of course, the main point guard of the team last year for the Trojans. And he could take a quick pass, pop it up for a 3, or take a pass, little dribble moves, create his own shot. Those are things you look at for NBA pros. Again, I know he didn't shoot the ball great, but if you just look at the raw ability, there is something there to be developed. Now, if I was him, I'd take a two-way contract. That's the only part that I don't really love because he's not going to get on many rosters denying a two-way contract. That's what I don't like, is I think there is a lot to develop there, and I'm not really mad he's foregoing his eligibility, not going to the transfer portal, not even staying at USC, and just going to the NBA. At first, I wasn't a big fan of that decision because it seemed like LeBron James was making this all happen and forcing Bronny to get out of college and go to the league so LeBron can live out his fantasy of playing basketball with his son. But after the months have gone on, it seemed like LeBron doesn't really seem overly huge on that, or he would obviously would love it, but it's not a main priority for him. And then Bronny said he wants to create his own narrative in his own name, his own path. So maybe the conversation behind closed doors there between LeBron and Bronny were like, let's not force this. I want to create my own path as Bronny. And then for LeBron, it's like, I'm obviously want to make my son happy. So that's an interesting storyline there, is that for the longest time, LeBron was nailing, I want to play with my son. That's the last thing I want to do before I retire. He's kind of eased off that. He's projected in the late second round. And in the late second round, you have teams like the Indiana Pacers, the Golden State Warriors, not the Detroit Pistons. We're going to skip past them. The Boston Celtics, the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets, the Grizzlies, who I think will be solid, obviously, when healthy, the Dallas Mavericks. All these teams here in the late second round, besides the Detroit Pistons and the Washington Wizards, they are all solid teams that Bronny would fit very well in to develop. Obviously, he won't get a ton of playing time right away, but imagine him in the Golden State Warrior system. Imagine him in the Dallas Mavericks system. Imagine him in the Boston Celtics system. Of course, the Lakers system would be great. Or even the Memphis Grizzlies system. Again, I think they'll be good when healthy. There's a lot of great developmental coaches on those great teams, and those are all teams that have a high expectation of winning in some way, shape, or form. The Pacers just made it to the ECF. Of course, the Celtics and Mavericks are in the finals. High expectations. The Lakers always have high expectations, and there's a great franchise to play for. I hate saying that as a Celtics fan, but I'll be honest, they're a good franchise. And then, of course, the Warriors, one of the best franchises in the last 12 years of this league. So there's a lot of great things, or a lot of great places Bronny can end up. But since he's saying he won't take a two-way contract, I think that does knock off a good amount of teams that might be interested. Maybe even one of those. So that is one thing to think about that I don't really love about Bronny James. But there's a lot of great places for him to end up. Now, NBA.com has him going, of course, because they're obviously going to continue to push this narrative. They have him going 55th to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Ringer, they have him going 55th to the Los Angeles Lakers. So they're all trying to push that narrative to get Bronny to LA, which, I mean, that'd be cool. I don't think Bronny would be mad at it. Obviously, LeBron would love it. But when I heard Bronny say, I want to, I'm just paraphrasing, but I really want to make my own name in this league. I want to make my own narrative. It seems like playing with his father is not huge on his list, and it's really just getting to the league, developing, and becoming his own name, which I love. I really love that about Bronny James. So to make this thing full circle, again, at first, I was not a huge lover of him foregoing his eligibility, going right into the draft. On the positive side, this year's draft class on paper, because maybe 10 years from now we're all wrong, or even 5 years from now we're all wrong, it's one of the weaker draft classes we have seen in a very, very long time. So this is a good spot for him to be in. And again, anything can happen. 3 weeks from now, Bronny might jump up to a late first-round pick. Who knows? Because he still has a lot of meetings left with teams, still has a lot of one-on-one workouts left. There is a big process still for Bronny and all these draft picks before June 26th and 27th for the NBA draft. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. And where do you think LeBron James Jr. ends up in the 2024 NBA draft? Does he play with his father? Does he go somewhere else? Does he say, fine, I'll take a two-way contract because no one wants him? A lot of interesting things that can happen in these next few weeks. But again, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I'll be back very soon. And like always, peace out.